Again, this is just not a confident question to ask. You know, it immediately shows that you have maybe low self-esteem or, you know, you're not good enough for her. This is the vibe that it portrays to her. Think James Bond, he always, you know, assumes the affirmative. Like, of course this girl loves me. Like, I'm a stud, why wouldn't she? Hello world, Prince here, and welcome to my channel, Gentlemen and Scholars, where we discuss dating, style, personal development, and so much more. You know, for my returning friends, go ahead and give this one a thumbs up for another awesome video. And you know, if you're new, definitely consider taking a look around, liking and subscribing. As you know, it helps with that algorithm, it helps the channel to grow, and it really does work to facilitate that strong, tight-knit community. All right, so for today's topic, we're gonna be going over sort of a fun one. We're gonna be touching on 10 different questions to never ask a woman. This really hones in on questions not to ask, particularly if you're dating a woman. But you know, I'll go over all of these and give my reasonings behind not mentioning these things. So, you know, definitely make sure you stick around until the end because this is a great video. But you know, without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump right into today's video. All right, so hopping right in for question number one to never ask a woman, that is going to be, are you on your period? I mean, this one is kind of a no-brainer, but you know, there are really guys out there that ask questions like these. I mean, if she's upset, I mean, you really can't think that this helps the situation because it doesn't. And she will almost certainly get even madder. So definitely make sure you're not one of the guys that are asking questions like these. All right, so for question number two, and this really is a question that, you know, a lot of you guys are more likely to ask, but I encourage you not to. That is going to be, do you have a boyfriend? And to further illustrate my point, let me sort of paint a picture here. So, you know, let's say that you're out, maybe you're out with your boys, you know, you guys are having a good time, maybe you guys have a few beers, and you know, you see this woman, and you're like, man, she's stunning. So you go and make your approach, and then one of the first things that you ask is, you know, hey, do you have a boyfriend? So really, there's a few things to note here. Number one, a lot of women use I have a boyfriend as a sort of canned response to get guys to go away. So they might not even look at you, they might not really see you, they might not even hear you out, and they'll immediately say, hey, I have a boyfriend. So by you mentioning that right out the gate, you sort of give them an easy cop out to quickly get rid of you. Also, a lot of women will say they have a boyfriend, but really don't. They're just giving you that quick canned response, sort of like a knee-jerk reaction. Additionally, it's just not something that you need to ask. If she does have a boyfriend, she will bring it up to you. That is if she's a high-quality woman. But you know, you should always assume the affirmative, you know? Like, hey, this is a girl that I like, you know, I like what I see, so I'm just going after it. Think about it this way. Have you ever seen James Bond ask, do you have a boyfriend? Yeah, I know. I rest my case. Question number three to never ask a woman. That is going to be, is that real? Insert hair, insert boobs, insert butt. These are all no-goes. See, generally speaking, this is not gonna go over well. Because in general, if she got work done to a specific area of her body, this means this is an area that she is self-conscious about. So if she was self-conscious about her butt and she decided to get butt implants, and you know, you go out on a date and you're asking questions about her butt, this is not gonna make her feel happy or, you know, encouraged or feel confident. it's just gonna make her feel self-conscious all over again. And of course, this pulls you further away from the goalpost. So it's just not something that I recommend doing. So question number 4 for questions that you should never ask a woman, that is going to be, what are we? See, a question like what are we, really a few things come to mind. Number 1, it does not show confidence. It really shows sort of needy behavior. And additionally, when you ask a question like this sort of puts pressure on the woman to make a decision that she quite possibly is not ready to make. So all you do with a question like this is kind of delay yourself from, getting closer to her and getting to where you want to be if a relationship is what you want. So it's just not something that is necessary. When the time is right and she feels, she's ready for that, she will bring up a relationship, buddy. Don't worry about it. You just worry about facilitating a good time and of course pushing towards intimacy. So for question number 5, to never mention to a woman, this kind of piggybacks on the last one, but that is going to be, do you like me? Again, this is just not a confident question to ask. It immediately shows that you have maybe low self-esteem or, you're not good enough for. This is the vibe that it portrays to her. Think James Bond. He always, assumes the affirmative. Like, of course this girl loves me. Like, I'm a stud. Why wouldn't she? In his mind, this is what he's thinking. And, if a girl doesn't agree with him or, he gets some pushback, he sort of gives just like a smirk and then goes on about his life. And then maybe later on, she will end up coming back and wanting to be with him. This should be your approach, gentlemen. Do not sit there and try to convince women. Find the women that already see your value and give those women priority. So hey, really quick, if you made it this far, congratulations. You are on your way to becoming a premier gentleman and scholar. So definitely consider taking a look around, liking and subscribing. As you know, it helps with that algorithm, it helps the channel to grow, and it really does work to facilitate that strong, tight-knit community. So for question number 6, to never ask a woman, that is going to be, what do you want to do? So this really goes for particularly in the beginning of a relationship. You should never be asking a woman, particularly on a date, what do you want to do? This is something that you should have planned way in advance. You are inviting her out on a date to experience what you have already planned. And for me, I like to plan keeping seduction in mind. So definitely make sure that you're putting thought into the planning. If you're going out on your first date or your second date, definitely make sure you're not breaking the bank. Just keep it simple, plan something really nice, and maybe later on, you guys will end up hanging back at your place. For question number 7, to never ask a woman, this is going to be, can I kiss you? Wait. So full disclaimer before I go any further with this, I just want to say that, it's very important that you get consent from a woman. If she tells you to stop, then definitely make sure you are stopping with any sort of, intimate act, that is kissing, that is, anything sexual, things of that nature. But really what I'm saying with this is women will give you subtle signs that it's okay to kiss them. They may be doing things like touching you. They may be looking at your lips. They may be getting closer and closer to you. They may have their feet pointed towards you. Really quick, I did make an entire video on different choosing signals that I think you guys will all love. So I'll go ahead and link that here. Definitely make sure you go and check that out because it goes through a long list of all the choosing signals that you will experience in your life. So, I go into comprehensive detail on everything, but, just make sure you check that out because, it's really great and useful for you guys in your life. But in summary, if you watched a video like the choosing signals video, it won't be necessary to ask a girl if she's ready to be kissed because it'll be obvious at that point. And I encourage you to ask women about this. Ask them like, hey, do you prefer if a guy says, hey, is it okay for me to kiss you right now? Most of them will say, it's kind of weird. Like they'll give some sort of weird, awkward look because it is kind of weird and awkward. For me personally, I just pay attention to the signs. And if she tells me to stop, tells me to chill, then I'll stop all progression. Piggybacking on that last tip for question number 8, that is really not necessary to ask women. That is going to be, can I, and insert most intimate acts into this. So I'm not gonna spend a ton of time on this, but I know there are a lot of you guys that like certain intimate acts done, but for me personally, there's really not a ton of reason to be super vocal about what you want. For me personally, I just like to demonstrate. So for instance, if you want a woman to go down, for me, I might grab her shoulders and softly push down on them. Or if she doesn't get the hint, I might say, hey, go down. But I don't explicitly spell out everything in detail. Again, full disclaimer, if you get any pushback at any point, definitely make sure you stop because that's not cool. But for me, all I'm saying, for me personally, is that there really hasn't been a reason to spell out everything all the time. With inviting yourself out on, different outings or, different adventures that your girl might be going on with her friends, etc. So never ask, can I come to these things? Again, it's just another one of those questions that makes you look needy. It makes you look like someone that's not confident. It might even make you look like someone that does not have a healthy social life. There's a ton of different reasons to not do this. And again, it's just not really necessary. If she wants you to come, she will make it obvious that she wants you to come, and she'll come right out and ask you. So there's really no reason to be doing this. And finally, question number 10, to never ask a woman, the ultimate needy question. Do you love me? Again, bro, it's just one of those questions that is just not necessary. It does not help, man. So, if she does love you, it should be obvious that she loves you. I have dated women that are not, super vocal about that sort of thing, but they should be showing you via their actions. If you've dated a certain period of time, it should be very obvious if she's, totally into you and just wants to be around you 24/7. And if you ask this, particularly if she's just not there yet, this will more than likely get the attraction moving in the opposite direction. So it's just not something that is necessary or something that I recommend. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. If you do have any questions for me, definitely feel free to give a shout. I'll go ahead and drop my email in the description box down below. Definitely subscribe, as you know it helps with that algorithm, it helps the channel to grow, and it really does work to facilitate that strong, tight-knit community. So, definitely let me know what you guys think about this one. Do you have any commentary? Do you think I missed any of the questions that are big? Definitely let me know down below. And until next time, gentlemen and scholars.